3, 1. Hi, everybody. I'm Val Hart. Welcome to the Real Dr. Doolittle Show, and we're going to have a great time with you today. I'm with my guest, Philippa Kingsley. I'm going to tell you more about her in just a minute, but let me first tell you a little bit about what we're doing here today. So, first off, I'm Val Hart again. I'm Animal Communicator to the Stars. I've been called the Real Dr. Doolittle, best-selling author. I'm also the founder of the Heart System for solving problems with pets. And this is the first of a live interview series with my professional colleagues. And what our goal is to bring you into our world, to show you and teach you and open the channel up between you and your pet so that you can understand each other better. You can hear their wonderful voices. They can tell you when they're confused or are in pain. You can dialogue together. We can work with behavior problems, training problems, performance problems, health problems. Just about everything starts with the communication. So our goal is to bring you into our world, teach you something really wonderful that you can use with your pet, that hopefully you take away something great today that you can put to use. And I just want to say that our work, our passion with me and my colleagues, our passion is to really help you understand your animals, help them understand you, and help you learn how to speak their language. All right, let's see. Oh, the thing that I just want to be clear about is that for me, animals are teachers, they're healers, they're guides, they're angels. And when we learn to recognize, respect, and revere them for who they truly are, they help us become better people, better humans. And when we align with that, then we can help our world. And I believe we're all here to help our world, and our animals need us and we need them. So, all right. You ready? All right, let me introduce my guest. So today, my guest is Philippa Kingsley. We're going to be talking about healing and spiritual essences with animal communication, healing and the spiritual essence for animal communication. Philippa is a professional animal communicator. She's a certified Vortex Healing Divine Energy Practitioner, and she's a spirit medium. She's also the author of a wonderful book. It's called Rising Above Grief for People and Pets. She combines holistic healing and spirituality with her animal communication, and she blends a very powerful force of pure love and energy. Her specialties include helping heal the emotional earthquake of loss and grief experienced by losing a beloved companion animal or a farm animal. She's able to connect people with their pets in spirit after they have crossed over so that clients can gain more comfort and closure and peace from the loss and the pain. Her other specialty is working with rescue animals and their behavior issues that they may have carried forward from their previous life of abuse or other bad stuff. She uses animal communication and vortex healing to help the animal heal at the cellular system level and on a spirit level, and she helps her clients understand their background so that we can bridge, bond, overcome, and heal the past together. All right, you can find out more about Philippa on her website at healingpeopleandpets.com. Welcome, Philippa. I'm so glad you joined me today. So, welcome to the show.
Great. It's great to be here. We finally got here.
We made it. We made it. Oh, my God. Getting set up was a bit of a challenge, but we're okay. And we're rock and roll. Rock and roll. All right. So I want to know, how do you combine animal communication and healing? How does that actually work for you?
Basically, when I connect with an animal, I go and see, and usually what I do in Georgia, I like to go and see an animal. Obviously, everything transcends time and space, and when I'm dealing with clients and their animals basically in other states or other countries, I work through a photo, I work through a picture. So energy doesn't need whatever. So basically what I do is I connect to the essence, to the soul of the animal, and I connect on an animal communication. And I then connect on a spiritual level. And when I see people in Georgia, the animal connects with me, because normally I'm connecting with the animal first of all. When I'm reaching out through a picture, obviously I'm connecting with the animal, they're connecting on a level, but when I actually see an animal in person, they connect with me and they connect with my energy, and that's the whole thing. And that's the combination. So they pick up the essence of who my soul is in this life on a spiritual level. That's what they tune into. And I let that bond, I let that blend together, first of all, before I even do anything.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a really critical first step, which is making the connection, opening those channels, and resonating together.
Right.
Right.
That's very important to do that. Okay. And so that the connection is there, and then I literally, as I say, do the the techniques of animal communication. But first of all, you have to have that bond, because no animal is going to connect with you. First of all, you have to ask permission, as we know. Animal communicators, we know that. But other people don't know that. They think, right, steam in, that's it. And you have to still yourself. You have to be calm and quiet inside. You have to go within, block out the world, if you like. And then you ask permission from the animal, and you explain that you'd like to help them. And you have to have their, not have to, but it's good to have their permission, because then they know that you understand them, and it's like, wow, somebody understands them, to see what they're thinking, what they're feeling, whatever the issue is, whether it's an issue, health issue, anything like that. So that's the first part of everything.
Mm.
And then also, as I say, the spiritual aspect, and I use Vortex Healing, and I tune into, through that, with any person or any animal that I meet, I tune into the animal with whatever the issue is. I'm normally being told, if it's a client, they've normally told me about what the issue is. I tune into the client as well, because that's very, very important, to become a bridge between the client and the animal. Because it's not always about the animal, it's about the situations around it, and helping everybody heal. The word is healing, it truly is healing. It's not just talking, because talk is good, but it's combining everything, the essence of the spiritual side of it, and what the animal feels at a soul level. And yeah, that's basically what I would share on that.
Yeah, I get that. I know in my own work, and I've been doing this since '93. I don't know. We should do another interview so we can just talk about how the world we got to where we are doing what we do, which is, I know people are really fascinated at too. But I know in my world, I call it the human-animal body-mind connection, and it's the mirror effect about how our animals mirror and react and respond to us, and they carry our issues a lot of times. What looks to be an issue with them isn't. It's an issue with the person. So I'm really glad that you work with that.
Yeah. That's what I work with, and the animals come into the life of that, whether it's like saying who's rescued who. It's like,
exactly.
It's totally neutral.
Yes.
Say, I'll rescue this one, or this pet, or this animal rescued me. Well, I say, well, it's not. You both rescued each other, because we're here to learn, and it's a learning lesson for everybody.
Yes. It is.
The animal mirrors are inner issues, basically, and that's often what they do, whatever it is, on whatever level. Yeah.
Such a critical thing to understand. So I hope everybody is going to take that away too. Because I know often if I've got a problem with an animal, if I look and do my inner work first to heal myself, then they can show up differently. So I have another question for you. So let's go to the next one, which is, you actually have two main specialties in your work. And the first one is helping people and pets heal from grief. And the second one is working with rescue animals and behavioral issues. Can you speak to that a bit, please?
Yes, with regarding grief, there's a pre-grieving situation that happens before. For example, you know what a prognosis is, and you've heard the news from the vet or whatever, and there's a knowing, but there's a blanking off that occurs. People don't want to think about it. They know it's there down the road. They don't want to think about it, but there's a pre-grieving that sets in. Then you get something when you lose an animal, then basically you've got the actual grieving process. And the grieving process can go on for 2 years. It doesn't matter. Everybody, it's different.
A lifetime, sometimes.
A lifetime. But the thing is, for humans, it's way on this level, or this realm, basically, we grieve. When somebody leaves their body, whether it's a pet, whether it's an animal, a pet, or whether it's a person, they're released from all their pain. They don't have all the hassles, the pain, the aggravation, everything they had, the illness. They don't have that. It's we that are left behind. We need the healing on ourselves, basically. And some clients like to basically connect with their pets afterwards on a spirit level. They want to know that their pets are okay. In fact, their animals are okay. It's we're the ones that are not okay. Yeah. I've been through this myself. It's not talking from lofty heights, as they say. When you've been through something yourself, then you really know that, you've been through it, you can explain it, you understand the feelings. It's not just talking at an academic, intellectual level about it. It's from the heart. heart. And everything is from the heart. Even though it's Val Heart, everything is from the heart. I like humor. Everything is from the heart. And it's from, and it's the spiritual heart, which is in the middle of you, basically. It's not the physical heart, it's the spiritual heart.
Right.
And it's the grieving process takes time. It takes time, and it is truly an emotional earthquake. And because I've been through it, I'm able to help people through it. Sometimes through Vortex Healing. There's various also different things that people can do with helpful tools, which we'll come on to, I think, shortly. I think we're going to ask me about that. Helpful.
Yes, I am.
From the book, to help people, because people need help. Because as much as one is in control before something happens on the grieving process, that shakes the whole roots of everything. It's an emotional earthquake. It's an avalanche that literally comes up from the depths of your being and you just don't even realize was there. Because that's so different. I mean, you've experienced it once. It's the first time you experience something, it's even worse because you haven't got anything to compare. It doesn't get easier. It's just different. You just know what to expect each time.
Yes.
The other thing I do is I work with rescue animals. Rescue doesn't matter what the animal is, basically, because basically they've been rescued, whether it's to a sanctuary, an animal sanctuary, or whether it's to a private home. Right. They often still bring with them the issues of the pain that they had, of the suffering, even though they know they're in a lovely, wonderful, safe surrounding. All the issues are stored in the cellular system, and that's the level that I work at with Vortex Healing, which gets to the root cause of people's issues. It works with the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and karmic bodies. We're not just a physical body. We're made up of many, many levels, bodies, actually. So that's the level that I work at. And the animal feels safe with me. It's not me, because that's ego. The animal feels safe with the essence of the spiritual, the work that I do, what I've done. So it's opening up to freedom and to love. And at the end of the day, it's love that overcomes everything. Pure love.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, because it really, what connects us all is the energy, the love. We connect to the heart. You know, when we get into the communication work, we're actually connecting heart to heart first, I think, and then mind to mind, and then we start resonating together and we understand each other. There's a very deep spiritual connection and a journey that we're on together.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, everything is a learning lesson in life for all of us, all of us as humans. As I say, that includes the animals that come into our life to teach us to learn where we're meant to move to next.
Exactly, true. So let's go in. You mentioned your book. Tell us a little more about your book. I know you have a really heartwarming story about why you wrote it. But tell us the story. Tell us something about.
Well, the whole book, Rising Above Grief, was channeled through me. Channeled means it's like explain what a channel is. Some of you know, some of you don't know. It means, for example, when you turn the station on a TV, or you're changing a channel, so it's opening up to a different channel, a different tubeway, if you want to put it in those terms, on basic terms, a different line, okay, different phone line. How's that? Yeah, a different phone line. I think that's good. And then basically, so I was guided to write this book, and the people that guided me to write this book and to get into animal communication was, apart from my father, who passed, was also my beloved dogs, Voguie and Cosmo. Look at the picture of them now. And it was through them, through how I worked with them, and so to be able to help other people and guide other people through everything. So I had a lot of writings, a lot of situations that had happened the last few years before I even wrote the book. And I put all these writings together and all these notes together in a book, focused on it and just got it together. And it just flowed. The reason it flowed is because it was meant to be there. That's why. There was no problem with anything. Found the right publisher, the editor, the whole thing. So when things are meant to be, they flow. It's called divine timing. And basically, I discovered animal communication through Voguie and Cosmo. They were English Cocker Spaniels, and pure love, pure absolute love. And that's how this book came to be written. And in the book, it's about 50-50. It's about loss, but it's not sad. There's no sadness there. It's just the process of what I went through, the grieving process. And with the dogs, there's about 50% in the book about Voguie and Cosmo and their story. There's stuff in there about children and loss and grief. But it's also the main essence of the book is about love, caring, and sharing. And that's the essence of the book. It's not about, it's a sad, whatever it is. There's a lot of spiritual stuff in there about illusion of life and everything, and how you see things, but the main message of this book is love, caring, and sharing, so that you will rise above grief. And that's actually what it is, rising above grief.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because when we rise above grief and when we go through these experiences, you know, when we have an animal in our life, we know there's the joy of them coming into our life, and there's always going to be the parting, you know, the transition. And it's about healing and evolving and growing for us, you know, and often they'll teach us life-changing wisdom and experience through their transition that, you know, that's so fundamentally critical to our growth, you know, our healing, our evolvement. So, yeah. Can you tell us a story? Tell us a little story about your dogs, about maybe something that they shared with you that was really profound or that you found useful.
It was just about love. It was everything. They showed me everything about love, who they were, what they were, with personality, which all animals have personality, obviously, characters, everything, and how different they are, that whatever form they inhabit, you know. Voguie and Cosmo, the love that they had, the love that Cosmo had for Voguie, and Voguie sort of had disdain for her, first of all, because she came into his space. He was, you know, he was the one and only. He was the head honcho, first of all, for about 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
And we came to the States, and before that, I got Cosmo came into our life. But he really loved her, but he didn't like her because he usurped his place, basically. But he really did love her, actually.
Right.
Beautiful, 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 oh, beautiful. Go onto my website, you'll see that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And everybody go to their website, healingpeopleandpets.com. So, yeah, go ahead. Didn't want to interrupt, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and as I say, you know, and then I discovered animal communication through them, funnily enough, after they'd passed. There's no coincidence in anything in life, absolutely none, because I'd been communicating on a different level. I just didn't know officially, and I needed to learn a few techniques, and this is what I was guided to do, and this is how I discovered animal communication. And the person I trained with also, she was the person, the right concept, the right thought, the right feeling for me that worked. Beautiful.
Right. Wow, I love it. Do you have any inspiring stories you would like to tell us?
I have one great story. I have two great stories.
We love stories.
Yeah,
tell us stories.
Yay. Well, this one was really interesting. This is actually very recent. I did a healing on a parrot.
I love that, a parrot. Okay.
A parrot, I know, very different. It's like, this was actually about 3 weeks ago. There was actually 2 parrots in the family. One of them was 30 years old, and the other one was 3 years old.
Wow.
It was the 30-year-old one that needed healing. And it was an amazing situation because the client actually contacted me and had met me about 8 years ago somewhere, and I was doing something. She met me somewhere anyway. We started talking. I told her what I was doing, and I went round there. And she told me the situation with the parrot. And the parrot, it was actually very sad. She loved this parrot, and she'd grown up with parrots as a child, actually. But prior to that, the parrot had been adopted in another family, and then they didn't have, when they had children, they didn't have time for it. But the one before that, the family before that, they found that the child, one of the boys in the family, a teenager in the family, had been abusing the parrot. So imagine this whole story of this parrot and the energy of everything. Apart from it, it's 30 years old now. So it's changed its whole energy around. It's not very happy at this stage, this parrot, actually, through things that have happened. Because in my client's life, things had changed. She'd got married, work things, a lot of personal things had come into her life, various different things. But she still had this bond with the parrot, and this parrot had this total bond with her. Totally. So what we did, I went to the house, obviously, and I sat in the room where the 2 parrots were, and she explained about the parrots. The younger parrot, the 3-year-old, had become the, if you like, the child of the older parrot. It was very interesting. So I said to her, let's just sit, and we just sat. And I did Vortex Healing on this parrot, Vortex Healing is incredibly powerful. And it's not just a spiritual massage, it's much more than that. It gets to the root core of people's stuff, whatever the level is. And I did a lot of intense Vortex Healing on this parrot. And it was beautiful. And then it turned around, and I didn't go up to it at all because it didn't want that, and I knew that. I just sat there and I told her to sit here, and we sat. We spoke very quietly, and I explained to her, I wanted to hear about the whole story of her life and everything that had happened, and she shared everything with me. And then I suggested what she should do to connect and rebond in practical terms with the parrot again. So the parrot and her could have that bond that they'd always had, even though the situation was different. She had somebody else in her life, her husband, and she was also going to have a baby as well. And also the fact that this parrot had a parrot friend, which parrots need anyway. We all need something of our own kind anyway. It just helps just to talk things out. Hello, what do you think?
Right.
So at the end of it, the parrot relaxed. You could see the parrot energy relaxed completely, and she turned her head and she connected with me. And I told her I was there to help her, so she knew that anyway. So the whole thing was very, very different. So I was there for a long time. I don't watch the clock when I do healings for pets at all. I was there for about 2 hours, actually. It was fine, whatever it takes. And then afterwards, it was relaxed and it was fine and it was happy. And afterwards, the other parrot flew around one of the rooms. There's a picture of me on my website with the other 3-year-old parrot, actually.
Oh, it's fun.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The other point is, afterwards, I connected with a client about a few days later, and I asked her how things were. She wrote this beautiful email that the parrot and her had connected. There was such a bond. They really connected and everything, and the whole attitude was different. And she felt so happy. So it was healing 2 people there, and that's so, so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
The story.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so glad you were able to facilitate, I find it so amazing because people will live and put up with such painful relationships with their animals, and the bad behavior and the health and all that stuff, and we don't even realize how bad it is until we finally get help, and then everything changes. Everything changes.
It's opening up the spiritual heart, letting the barriers down, literally opening up the heart to somebody else, to another being. We're all beings.
Right.
Animal, anything. Yeah.
So, Philippa, do you have a message that you would like to share with our audience? Anything from your heart that you would like to leave people with today?
I've got 2 things. I'd like to say also about one thing in my book briefly, is that there's helpful healing.
Oh, yeah, you were going to teach a helpful healing tool. Yes, please.
Helpful healing tool in the book, basically, which is one of the basic things. There's a whole list of things, and it's everything I've done myself. But I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to say there's 2 things from here which I would say. Make a memorial. Honor who your pet was and who it still is. It's just the physical body that's not there. Obviously, the soul and the love is still there. Yeah. The physical body is not. Make a little memorial. Whatever you need to do, as a corner of the house, a corner of a room, whatever it is, whether it's a picture, the leash, whatever it is that feels right for you, anything that your pet had. And you can also, I'm going to tell you something else, write a letter to your pet. That releases everything. It releases the stuff in you. It releases everything. When you look at it, it doesn't matter whether you want to keep it, tear it up, burn it, bury it. It doesn't matter. Each person's different, but just be true to yourself with whatever it is you need to do, and don't let anyone push you or push you around to get another pet. Take time to grieve the loss before you even consider bringing another animal into your life. And also, other pets in your life also grieve. Don't forget them. They're all part of the family. They go through grief. So there's a whole list in my book, which you'll see when you choose to buy it, to purchase it.
Okay.
And to leave you with the thoughts, basically, that love is all there is. Be true to yourself. Pure divine love. The love will never change.
Excuse me. Oh, that's wonderful. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you, first off, for that. Everyone be sure and check out Philippa's book. It is Rising Above Grief for People and Pets. Here's a copy of it again. It is really quite wonderful. It's a lot of lovely, wonderful healing tools in it. Get some water. We've choked her up, everybody. We choked her up. You can go to her website at healingpeopleandpets.com. Yeah, it definitely is time. The phones are ringing. It's where our little interlude is about complete. All right, so thank you for joining us today, everyone. You have been watching an episode of the Real Dr. Doolittle Show with me, your host, Val Hart, and my wonderful guest, Philippa Kingsley. Please don't keep us a secret. Tell your friends. Show us some love also by scrolling down and leaving us a comment. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you learned, what your takeaway is today. If you wanted something else, you can post another question. We're going to be looking for all of those. Promise to respond to each and every one. So scroll down right now and give us a comment. Give us some feedback. Show us some love. You can also remember to go to my site at animaltalkcoachingclub.com and get your free Animal Communicator Starter Kit, the Quick Start to Animal Talk course that covers the 3 fundamental principles about animal communication that every animal lover needs to know. All right, so thank you for joining us. Philippa, anything else you want to say?
Just lots of love to everybody, love and light to everybody, and remember that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, as is our pets and the animals in our life.
Yes. All right. Thank you. I love you. I'm really grateful you got to play with me today. So thank you for sharing your big heart with me.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everybody. Bye. See you next time.